With game week 14 not even over yet, we still have to consider things about game week 15 with the short turnaround. I have got 4 players for you that you might want to consider bringing in. Let's take a look at them. Whether you're new or you just enjoy FPL content, we have plenty more coming up. Keep in touch with the latest watch lists, transfer tips, team selection videos. Hit that subscribe button. In the meantime, let's have a look at those players. Nuno Tavares, 4.3, super cheap defender and owned by less than 1% of the FPL community. He hasn't scored, he's got 1 assist. His XGI, expected goal involvement per 90 minutes, pretty decent, 0.23. Shots per 90 is really good for a defender, 2.38. He's not shy at having a shot at goal. One of the main reasons I think you'd want to bring him in is looking at those fixtures. Everton away, they're struggling, obviously no DCL. You've got Southampton at home, they're not known for scoring or creating that many chances at the moment. Leeds and Norwich, Wolves goal shy. The only one in there, the only red one's West Ham, but he looks a good option at 4.3 of getting on top of some really good fixtures that Arsenal have coming up. Seems nailed in the side at the moment. Good fixtures. The cost is obviously really attractive. Other options is what I've put down there. I'm not necessarily thinking that there's other options at his price range. You had Johnson, but now Kufal's come back in. So there's also a lot of Livramento's gone up in price, and that Southampton defence isn't as appealing anymore. I just mean in terms of so many attacking defenders in the game, the likes of Rudiger and Cancelo scoring in recent games. You've obviously got people like Trent, the likes of Chilwell's obviously out injured, but Reece James and Alonso coming in. Somehow it's difficult to summon fit someone like a Tavares in the side. So other options potentially, but as an enabler, he looks really good. I'm definitely going to keep him on my watch list for the moment, and what a differential he is as well. James Maddison, then we talked about him previously. He seems to be coming into a really rich vein of form. 3 goals, 2 assists, most of that coming in the last couple of games. XGI, decent, 0.37. Takes a shot, 2.44. Fixtures look okay, especially in the run-up for the next 4 games. Away at Villa could be tough. At home to Newcastle, certainly one you probably want to target. Tottenham, Everton, and then Man City away and Liverpool. That's a couple of tough games. He's Leicester will score against anyone. We know that. Looking at the last game against Southampton, he certainly passes the eye test. Very influential. Looking like he's back to his best. 6.6. Not wildly expensive either. In that price bracket, possibly I would prefer Rafinha, I think, at the moment to Maddison. But those fixtures turn for Leeds. He may be a man I could switch to for the next 2 or 3 games. But are you booking in a transfer when it comes to Man City, Liverpool, or will you carry him through? He is still a real differential at 5%. Nailed. I've put a question mark again. I think he's nailed at the moment, but he's getting minutes in every game. His form's been up and down. He is always seeming to be picking up a niggle, coming back from a niggle. Can he stay free from all those to keep his place in the side? He's on set pieces. He's got the fixtures. It's just that injury doubt. He went down a couple of times in the Southampton game. You just wonder. It just feels like he's just constantly going to have a niggle and be out. And with so many games coming thick and fast, will Brendan Rodgers also just give him a rest that he may need every now and then? So there's a few doubts over him, but he's certainly come into form. We know from last season what a deadly and great asset for FPL he could be. Romelu Lukaku, then, he is a player that everyone seemed to jump on to earlier on in the season, myself included. He got 3 goals. If you remember, it seems so long ago now, he didn't score. He went for a long goal drought. There was rumours about him being fatigued, pulling out of the Belgium international fixture break. He's got no assists, but his XGI remains really high, 0.83. Shots per 90, 2.58. The thing with Lukaku, you know if he's going to score or shoot, it's going to be in and around the box. He doesn't take a pot shot from very far out often. 11.5 million, he's not cheap. Still owned by 9.6%, so people have just held on to him all this time. Whether or not that's people that are actively playing it or not, I'm not convinced it is, but people held on to him, maybe unsure about when he's going to come back. Fixtures for Chelsea, West Ham away, not sure about that one, but Leeds, Everton, Wolves, Villa, Brighton. You know what, they're decent fixtures for a player playing up front for Chelsea who will be nailed when he is fit and coming back into the side. I put nailed. Good fixtures. Yes, I think they're okay. XGI is really high. The only doubt you could say he's played 7 games for Chelsea. He's only got returns in 2 of them. So 5 of those games he is blanked. But Romelu Lukaku, a fit Romelu Lukaku, he's got 2 now games, some minutes under his belt, especially against Watford. He had a bit more of a stretch. Is he going to come back in against West Ham? For me, if I'm going to bring him in, I'd like to see him start against West Ham. It's also a game where perhaps Chelsea aren't going to be at their strongest. West Ham at home will be a tough game for Chelsea or any side at this level. And then maybe, hopefully, if he gets the minutes there, Leeds at home will be a game I'll be targeting to bring him in. He's also difficult to get in one mood for a lot of people, unless you're upscaling perhaps from a Vardy. But I really like him. He was a great option earlier on the season. And he certainly remains a good option now. Playing up front for that Chelsea side with those wing-backs, you would have thought he just suits their play so well. 11.5, suddenly I don't think seems that bad, especially when there's so many other premium strikers not getting returns. I really like him, but I want to wait, I think, to see what happens in that West Ham game before I make a move for him. In the meantime, I can start to manoeuvre to do that. Finally then, okay, we go to the big fish, Cristiano Ronaldo, 27.5% owned. So more than 1 in 4 fantasy managers own him. 12.3 million. He is expensive, no questions about it. 4 goals, 2 assists. XGI always remain high, and he shoots from absolutely everywhere. So he has 3.79 shots. It's those fixtures that make him such an attractive option at the moment. Palace, Norwich, Brentford, Newcastle, Burnley, and then Brighton, the only one who's not green, but at home. You just feel that Man United are going to score in every one of those games. And if they do, and now there's going to be involved in it, new manager, we don't know quite what effect that's going to have. He's already had a rest against Chelsea, so that already puts me in a better frame of mind that he's going to play the other games as well. His age is one thing as well, but I think he's nailed. I think his fixtures are absolutely brilliant. You could argue his form is not great. He isn't in the best form of his life. He's not scoring many goals. I think he's got 1 assist in the last 4 or 5 games. Cost is another issue. He's difficult to get to. You will have to look at sort of downgrading other players or moving premiums about. But those fixtures just look so good. And I guess it's the age-old problem of FPL. You know, if you're going to bring in a big asset like him, you have to make sacrifices elsewhere. Is it worth it? You look at Palace, Norwich and Brentford, and you have to think, then Newcastle and Burnley, wow, you know, can you afford not to have him, especially when he's so highly owned? I know it shouldn't really come into it, but he is very, very tempting, especially when you haven't got the likes of Kane, and I'm recording this before the Tottenham game during a week against Brentford. But when the likes of Kane, Lukaku's coming back, obviously no one else seems to be firing up front. Ronaldo has those fixtures. He has the pedigree. That new manager bounce as well. They could all come together. Ronaldo could be absolutely devastating, and that could be a great run of fixtures that could really propel your overall rank. He's one that I am seriously considering having to go to. There you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed that as a quick fire 4 players to have a look at. Tell me who you are thinking about bringing in. Is there any other players that we've missed that you think should be on your watch list? I mean, I can certainly think of a few others that I might cover. The likes of Ronaldo, the likes of Gundogan. Grealish is coming back. Those Man City fixtures look great. Is Sancho worth coming on? All these good things that we'll look at in the future. So subscribe to make sure you don't miss those contents. Remember, we always take a statistical analysis, matching them up with the fixtures, the best players, give yourself the best chance. In the meantime, guys, enjoy the rest of your game week, and I shall speak to you soon.